o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Hard to believe we've only officially been in summer for a little over a week, but the hot, dry weather is already taking a toll in a number of ways, including water demand as people try to keep their lawns green and gardens growing. With record highs rolling back into Billings again this week, there's worry over the city's water capacity during these scorching temperatures. As Q2's Andrea Lutz reports, it starts as soon as you turn on your faucet.
After a record hot June, water operators in the city of Billings are carefully monitoring water usage. That's because all of us keep turning on our sprinklers, trying to keep our grass green. Massive pipes are funneling water to your home as fast as they can.
This has been an unusually hot June.
But when the sprinkler is going and the summertime heat is on, water usage increases. And this year,
because of that, we've seen unprecedented numbers for this time of year.
Engineer Louis Engels says peak demands are not normally seen in June, and instead in July or August.
Our plant is sized for 60 million gallons per day, and we're consistently hitting above 50 million gallons per day right now.
That's equivalent to a pool of water 140 feet high over the surface of a football field, which he says right now is 4 times what they normally use during non-peak months, like in the winter.
Through this point in June, we've used 42% more water this year than last year.
He says think about that when you're turning on your sprinkler. And for how long?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday are our worst days. They're about 5% higher than any other day. We see it from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. We see this huge peak in the system. If we could get people to space it more throughout the night, that would really help us. I wouldn't recommend watering during the heat of the day. Obviously, that doesn't make sense.
As of right now, he says there's no plans to restrict. But
it will depend a lot on July and August. We'll have to see if that's something that needs to be implemented. It's definitely being considered.
Because there's still a lot of summer left, and who knows what sort of heat records Billings could still break. So he recommends customers do all they can to make their homes drought resistant. In Billings, Andrea Lutz, MTN News.
And Andrea tells us the West End has the highest usage of water. There's a lot of new growth and new yards filled with sod. All right, turning to Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh in the Weather Center. Ed, we're not even into the dog days of summer yet, but this week could be hard on our pets.
That's for sure. It's already starting off really hot, and as it gets hotter, make sure you follow some basic rules for your pets as well. This is a great time for avoiding the pavement, walk on the grass or the earth, but if you're going to be on the sidewalks, use the 5-second rule. If you can't put your hand on the sidewalk for 5 seconds in the afternoon, don't expect your dog to be able to walk along that same path. And also watch out for heat illness. If there's excessive panting, and make sure you keep lots of water around for the pets, and make sure you limit the time outdoors, and just be safe. Never leave the pets in the cars. Doesn't take too long. Even if the air conditioner is running, you never know when that engine might shut down. Come back, take a look at the forecast details coming up in a little bit.
All right, thank you, Ed. With recent fireworks bans, there's a little confusion as to where they can be set off next weekend. We sent Q2 Shaquille Kozar to the 4th of July capital of Montana to find out more.
Well, the 4th of July is right around the corner, and with unusually high temperatures for this time of year, fire safety is of the utmost importance. Laurel Fire Department's Fire Chief Brett Peters says that while shooting off fireworks in the city limits of Laurel is legal, it should be done safely.
If you're shooting off fireworks, please don't shoot it off in dry grass, obviously. Make sure you have a water source there. Extinguish your fireworks after you shoot them. Be able to put out any small fires. Call the fire department early. If you do set something on fire. In the city of Laurel, we have a restriction that no one under the age of 12 can shoot off fireworks without the supervision of adults. And be safe, be smart and be safe.
Peters said that Laurel is one of the few cities in Montana allowing people to use fireworks, but there are some restrictions as to the time of day. People are allowed to shoot fireworks from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and from 9 p.m. to 11:59 p.m., not on the 4th. But on the 4th of July, those night hours are extended from 9 p.m. on the 4th to 12:30 a.m. on the 5th of July. He said that allowing people to use fireworks on the 4th has significantly cut down on calls to the fire department.
Years past, we ran up to 25 calls on the day of the 4th. Since we legalized fireworks in the city limits, we run 3 to 4 calls on the day of the 4th.
Peters notes that each county in Montana has separate restrictions on fireworks. Yellowstone County, for instance, is on a stage 2 restriction, meaning no burning, fire pits, internal combustion engines between 1 a.m. and 1 p.m., and no fireworks. Other counties have separate restrictions that can be found on their city website and Montana Code Annotate. Reporting in Billings, I'm Shaquille Kozart with MTN News.
And Peters wants everyone to remember, if flames start, don't wait. Call your local fire department right away. A 21-year-old man was taken to a Billings hospital with serious injuries after a motorcycle crash on the west end tonight. According to Billings Police Lieutenant Matt Lennick, that accident occurred at the intersection of King Avenue West and South 20th Street around 7 p.m. Lennick said a Jeep Cherokee with a Colorado license plate was trying to turn left from South 20th to King Avenue and struck that motorcycle, which was traveling eastbound on King. The Billings Police Crash Investigation Team responded to the crash and will have parts of that intersection closed while they work. Well, the death toll has now climbed to 12, and at least 149 others are still missing after that condo collapse in Florida. Tonight, more than $1.9 million has been raised for families of the victims, and a memorial is growing just steps away from the debris. Meanwhile, search and rescue crews continue to shift through the rubble, finding one more victim today, but officials say they are making headway in the search. New images taken just days before the collapse show water on the floor, cracked concrete, and damaged rebar in the complex's pool equipment room. It's not known whether any of those issues contributed to the collapse. President Biden is scheduled to visit the Surfside community on Thursday. Some annual funding and some unexpected funding has found its way into the Billings Airport. Q2's Brandon Warren has more on what that money will be used for.
Over the last 2 weeks, the Billings Logan International Airport has been the benefactor of some federal funding, which they say will go towards COVID relief and paying for their new terminal.
The first one was the ARPA funds. They came in, it was about 6.1 million. And then today it was announced that we're going to get our actual AIP funding, which is something we get annually, but they've been trying to scoop together additional dollars for our terminal building. So we're going to get 4.7 million for that.
The $6.1 million American Rescue Plan Act funds will be used for COVID relief. And as Plone said, the $4.7 million will be used to help fund the new terminal they have been building. The terminal comes as Billings begins to experience more air traffic, and with 4th of July coming up, Plone says the airport is doing well.
Flights have been awesome. We are seeing a lot of people flowing through the airport. It looks just like it should this time of year. On Monday we have over 1,800 passengers departing, and then the rest of the week that's over 1,000 per day. So yeah, we're back.
Construction on the new terminal is going according to schedule, and although the extent of the revisions will not be completed until 2023, part of the new construction will be in use soon.
This section here, I think we'll see opening up about January of next year. Inside sheetrocking right now. Most electrical wires have been pulled, so they're moving right along.
With the most recent wave of federal funding, Montana airports received just over $13 million. In Billings, Brandon Warren, MTN News.
Well, still ahead on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2. Last year, this Billings man laid paralyzed on a Wyoming hillside. Tonight, see how he overcame incredible odds to regain control of his life. Then a little later in sports, we'll meet the newest member of the Montana Football Hall of Fame, known for his work in the broadcasting booth.